We got 3 people watching and 2 likes. Who's all in here? Give me a what's up. Hey, Craig, how's it going? Hey, can you hear me good? How are y'all doing today? God, what a week. What a week, and it's finally over. Oh, look at that. This SOB's gonna keep trying to knock that over. I got this a while back. Pretty interesting little 5-ounce bar. Not my problem. How's it going? Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm just hanging out. Mrs. is Mrs. and the mother-in-law are out trying to do some door dashing. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a little live stream. Just kind of hanging out and nice and quiet, enjoying the peace, and yeah. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Work's picked up a little bit, it seems like, which was kind of weird because the first part of the week was fairly slow. So, stopped by the LCS today. Hey, Herman, what's going on, man? Stopped by the LCS today. A lot there, but I just couldn't pick up anything really that I wanted. I mean, there's lots of stuff I wanted, but that I really had the funds for. All right, heck yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Herman. If y'all haven't, go check out Herman's live streams. He does awesome pours. But anyhow, with the holidays around the corner and Thanksgiving dinner coming up and Halloween candy and all that good stuff, that's time to get a little wise with the money. That way I don't have to sell any of this beautiful silver for the holidays, right? That's not all I have, but that's what I have out. Yeah, it's quite a ride, huh? At least silver closed below 50 today. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I'm going to try something here real quick. Hey there. There we go. Is that coming in nice and clear for y'all? Now here's where all the views start dropping. But oh well. Anyhow, these holidays are coming fast, and it's making those trips to the LCS a little more less fulfilling for the stack, I should say. Craig, I'm tell you the truth, I'm hoping it drops. I mean, I am hoping it drops. You know, $50 an ounce silver is just a little too much, if you ask me. I get it, the demand for it, the ETFs, the paper silver. That's what's really screwing everybody up, man. You have a skull like that? Hell, that'd be badass. But pour it in copper. What if I give you a bunch of buffaloes to pour it with? So yeah, just with things coming up. I mean, I ain't ashamed. I'll let you guys know that right there. Well, let me flip that around and get rid of that. That's it. That was my big pickup for today. A 90% Kennedy half dollar. Huge score. Anyways, um, Well, I don't think silver's going to ever go back down that low, but it might. Hey, what's up, dog? Transit, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's a 90% Kennedy. That was it. $17 for it. But like I said, with the holidays coming up, you just gotta, you gotta do what's right. You can't, and that's kind of what I'm worried about. Not really worried about myself, but with a lot of these, people, we had a guy from Canada come in. Um, we had a guy from Canada come in, and he was wanting to buy silver today because he's going to get it at a better cost here than he would in Canada. But the anyways, he new to it. He was new to stacking silver, and with the prices the way they are, I'm worried that everybody's going to rush out and just dive headfirst into all this expensive silver. And here in a few months, they're going to have to back off, and it might be at a loss. So that's going to put a lot of bad, it's going to put a lot of bad juju on silver, I think, if that happens. And I've said it before in a couple of my videos, in 2011, that was one of the last times silver spiked this high. It got up to $49 an ounce in 2011. By 2015, it was $14 an ounce. And if it does that, look out. And like I said, I don't think it's going to ever get back down that low. But right now, even if it drops down to $25, $30 an ounce, there's going to be a lot of people upset. God, isn't that's a pretty little setup there. I know everybody's going to talk about this microwave looking thing that I got set up. Mrs. decided to buy this light box kind of for the videos here, and I think it works great, but other people thinks make it look like I have my stuff inside a microwave. Let's try this again. Just kind of playing around, really. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. There it is. Who was talking about you melt pennies for metal? Nope, we don't melt pennies. It is. It's incredibly useful for electronics, but with the hey Matt, how's it going? With technology, the way it's moving, it's actually taking less metals to make the components for it. It's taking less gold and less silver. I don't know if you guys have ever taken apart an old computer, an older phone, something, from the early 2000s or even 2010. You take it apart and it has a bunch of gold pins, fingers, silver contacts, all that stuff. Where if you look at it now, it doesn't take as much. So I believe with technology being advanced, that it's actually going to start taking less metals to use it. Hey, Matt, West Coast. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, recycling is expensive. The gold, there's a lot of places recycling gold. A lot of that stuff's done overseas anyways. A lot of the gold, and the US has a pretty pretty good sized gold refining, e-waste refining for gold recovery. That doesn't do too bad, but even with that, everybody loves technology, right? It's it's going to get easier. It's going to get more reliable, to do these things on a large scale with less expense. Yeah, no, silver is cheaper. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I was going to be recovering silver from e-waste or electronics. I don't think I would mess with it. I've tried with gold a little bit. It didn't work out so well, but I thought I had a good amount of boards and gold fingers and pins, but it wasn't nearly what I thought it was going to be. Um, Herman knows somebody in his area that refines silver, breaks it down to from sterling to pure silver. He makes pretty cool little bars out of it too. So maybe on a smaller scale, it would be worth it. Yeah, like I said, I tried it, and then the I tried it with the computers and the TVs and the phones and all that, and at the time, just really wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth my time. Transit back when I worked in microelectronics, the parts were gold plated, but they were the size of a grain of sand, so it wasn't that much. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Hey, Humble, how's it going? Everybody likes to, everybody thinks that with the technology and all the electronics that it's going to use up more and more silver and gold when actually, it is in a way just because the amount of electronics and that, but with technology being advanced, it's actually using less silver and gold in the components than it was back in the day. So, that whole thing about silver is going to go to the moon because each Tomahawk cruise missile has 500 ounces of silver in it. That was a load of shit. That was somebody's. You know, I, I've heard rumors on who put that out, but that's just not factual. So, you know, there's still it's the metals are still going to be used, but it's not going to be to that capacity. Not anywhere near as the better technology gets. So I'm not really too into the silver's expensive because silver's used in all this electronical stuff. I don't really buy that a whole lot. See, Craig knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, scrapping sterling silver seems to be more popular for reals. No, see, Craig, you're exactly right, and that's what I noticed. That's what I noticed just by tinkering around in the garage taking shit apart. That the newer stuff actually had less metals in it than the older stuff. But so that's just kind of why I think that I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that theory. Sure, it's used some. It's not less as it's just smaller components. Well, when they come out with something that doesn't require, there will come a time when they come out with something that doesn't require metals at all. You know, I mean, they're going to figure out a way. They're going to figure out a way to come at to to make components for these. Hey, Frostbite, they're going to figure out a way to make these phones and laptops and all this without any precious metals at all. There will come a time. You know, what happened with all the hype of all these cars, these battery operated cars, EVs, these electric battery operated cars. Oh my God, it's been a long day. You know, these EVs, these electric vehicles, they were going to be all the rage, right? They were going to take up every ounce of silver that comes out of the ground for electric vehicles. We're seeing now that that's not going to be the case, you know, anytime soon. Transit, there might be, you know, there might be, and I looked that up, and I ain't gonna say because I forgot, and I don't really want to give the wrong answers here, but I swear I had heard something like 30 like 31 grains or 31 grams of sorry, not grains, 31 grams of silver per solar panel, something like that. I think that's what I heard. Not just that. Let's talk about gold for a second. How malleable is gold? Maybe Frostbite knows the answer to this question. How long, and this is just a quarter ounce, how long of a thin wire and how, dirty fingernails again, how far could that stretch? How far could you make a quarter ounce of gold stretch into a wire? Now, I've heard stories, I've heard some people say that you could take a 1 ounce gold buffalo and use that to cover the entire Golden Gate Bridge in a thin layer of gold. So, if that's true, hey Richard, how's it going? How much gold is needed for electronics? I mean, if gold can be that broken down that much. You know, you know, I don't have my laptop handy. This was just kind of spur of the moment. Flexing the stack, huh? Not the whole stack. But a little bit of gold will go a long ways in that aspect, though, even if it's just thin foils. I mean, look at how far they go into just gold backs, right? Why is the stack spinning dramatically? I don't know. It's just this new thing we got. We got a little rotating table, and I thought, you know, I'll try to use that and see what it does. It actually comes with the remote. It's kind of cool. This by far right here has to be one of my most favorite. Oh man, I thought I turned that notifications off. There we go. This little piece of silver right here from the El Paso Mint. When I plug it in, it would need about 190 metric tons of gold to plate the Golden Gate Bridge in a fine gold foil. Well, I'll have to double check that. But from what I've been told, gold stretched out into, micro thin layers will go a long ways. That was it. That was as fast as it would spin. So, I mean, we'll just look at, I'll take a look at it, Frostbite. Let's just look at goldbacks for a second. That, the one goldback, I don't have any here, but that one goldback is 1/1000th of an ounce, right? It takes 1,000 of them to make an ounce. So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But the point I'm trying to make though is that it's not going to take as much precious metals to go into electronics as people make it out to be. Yeah, maybe that's what he meant. But so I hear things and I think about it, and with all the advancements that's coming around and all the new things that are happening, I just don't think that we're going to be needing as much precious metals for technology. Not saying we're not going to need any, but there may come a time where some of these products are made without. They're fun to have. They're I got into stacking at about it was oh probably about the middle of 2022. So from that time, I've found little ways to save and buy the metals, and now that it's at been borderline $50 an ounce, it's kind of unreal to me. But it was like when I was helping that guy from Canada that came in, he bought 2 ounces. He bought a newer Libertad and a generic Buffalo, and it was $107. And I thought to myself, my God, $107 for 2 ounces of silver. And I know some of y'all that started buying way before I did, are thinking, yeah, well, I was buying it when it was $5 an ounce, but when's a good stopping point? Hey, that's no joke. Hey LJ, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, right there, King. It's been going on. We were going to run out of oil 15 years ago. Now, Richard, that fiat doesn't go near as far. And I got a lot of backlash for that video, that last video I just did about all these people that are hoping for $100 an ounce silver. They're like, oh, when silver gets to $100 an ounce, it's going to be so good, but it's not. It's not going to be good. it's going to be, first, inflation is going to be through the roof. So whatever you go to buy at the grocery store, because metals isn't the only thing going up. So what you go to buy at the grocery store is going to be a lot more. Milk, bread, excuse me, gas. Gas kind of got cheaper, I guess, but it didn't bring the price of anything else down. A few years ago, that's what everybody was blaming all the high prices on, right? I like flipping this camera back and forth. I don't know why, but anyhow, a few years ago, everybody was blaming the high prices on the price of gas being up, right? Oh, the reason why all the food's expensive at the grocery store is because um, the price of gas is expensive. You know, the price of diesel is expensive. It's taking more money to get the product and produce shipped off to the grocery store. Well, now the price of gas is going down. I imagine diesel's going down in some places. We never really saw that outrageous gas prices here in Texas, or in West Texas at least. But, you know, the price of food was still going up. Price of beef. A lot of ranchers are pissed off at Trump right now for this whole Argentina beef deal he just passed. Yeah, well, of course, people are going to be awesome. I mean, it's a catch 22. I'm happy that my stack grew in value. That does make me happy. But on the other end, it doesn't, because I'm not done stacking. I know some people that have emailed me and said, you know, that their buying days are pretty much over, besides for a few other little pieces that they may or may want to get. But a lot of, you know, so, but there's a lot of people right now that aren't in at the end of their stacking journey. Buying cattle from Argentina is kind of a slap in the face to the ranchers. Hell yeah, it is. It is a big slap in the face to the ranchers here in the U.S. But it's not anything new, really. I mean, it's the packing plants, the meat packing plants. They're the ones that are jacking the prices up. I'm stacking. I'm stacking as a savings account, and that's it. Maybe one day the kids will inherit the stack, and by then I'll be 6 foot under, and I won't really care what they do with it. Chances are, like most people I've seen come into the LCS that inherit a stack, their significant other or father or anybody else that they got the stack from, they ain't even put in the dirt yet before they're at the LCS wondering how much they can get for you know, the coins that they have. Retirement, Matt, that's an awesome notion right there. Oh, sorry, I just got a little too close there. Retirement would be great. But from a younger person's standpoint, I say younger, I'm almost 50, so I'm really not that old. But generational wealth, yeah. But retirement's kind of out of the question for a lot of us. You know, most of us younger folks, we're not going to see retirement. We're going to work until that's it. What did Craig say? It's never over. Instead of buying just bullion and pure, out there looking to jewelry that sells cheaper in bulk to resell for profit and stuff that looks ugly. Yep. But like I was saying, most of us aren't. We're not going to make it to retirement. Look at how many years the retirement age just keeps going up. God, I remember, and I haven't got one in the mail. Actually, I don't even think they send them out anymore. Used to get a little envelope in the mail, and it would tell you how much you would get if you for disability, if you got on Social Security. This how much you've worked and how much you put into it. So if something were to happen to you now, this is how much you would get, and this is how much you're going to get if you retire at this age. I haven't gotten one of those in years. I don't know if anybody else has, or if anybody remembers what I'm talking about. Does anybody remember getting those in the mail? Or is that one of those Mandela effect things? Let me know. Okay, you still get those? God, I remember we used to get them just every so often, but I haven't got one in years. Maybe I ought to look into getting one, but Matt, I don't know how they could tap into the 401k. Um, you can, but that 401k was just a supplemental, right? As far as I remember, that it was just a supplemental retirement plan, and they found a loophole in it, which I'm sure they were told where the loophole was at to bypass that, to make it the one of the only sources of a so-called retirement. I don't know. The more I work, the more I think that it's retirement's not going to be something that I'm going to achieve. I think it's a little backwards in this country. Yeah. I traveled a lot when I was younger, only because I joined the service. When I joined the Marine Corps, we traveled all around Asia and Southeast Asia. But a lot of these places that I went to, I would see, even stationed in Hawaii, sometimes you would see the younger European kids, people, from France, Denmark, Belgium, Australia. They would be out traveling the world. And I would never, and when we were in Australia, we didn't run into any American kids over there traveling. I spent a week in Bali, Indonesia there, and same thing. Would run into all these people from all these different countries, and never any real younger American kids. And that always stuck with me because these kids get out and they travel, and they have fun, and they live a life when they're young. And it seems like in the US, kids go to work. A frostbite, you know why that is, right? Because they knew when that Navy ship ported, there was Marines on it. Hey, J-Lo, LJ, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at now. And I make pretty decent money at my first, my primary job. But yeah, STG. Um, but it's not enough with what we're, with what I had pictured in my mind, what I wanted to have stacked by the end of the year. But But I'm probably looking into that again. See what I can do for a second job so I can start adding more to the stack. And then on the other hand, I'm see it kind of as a blessing. Um, I was telling the owner of the Volt, Chris, today, that maybe this all happened for a reason because I was working, my regular full time job and then part time at Pizza Hut. Well, I would have been getting significantly less medals for what I was making at Pizza Hut than I was 3 months ago. So, heck, STG, you can release it now, man. I like STG stuff. He's very, very very well spoken. Me, I talk. I when I'm saying something, I have it in my head. I'm picturing what it is that I want to say, and then it just never really comes out. The way what I'm trying to explain never really comes out the way I want it to, or some people can't understand how I'm trying to explain it. But I'm just a simple stacker. That's it. A simple silver and gold stacker. I I buy it. To me, you have now. Don't get me wrong. There's some. Hey, take it easy, Frostbite. Take care. Have a good weekend. Um, uh, there's some people. There's some people that are very knowledgeable about coins and ancient coins and numismatics. That's not me. There's some people that are really wise to the whole market lingo. They can tell you the charts and this is this, and well, silver's going up because the financial system in India, and I don't do that. I'm a much more simpler stacker. And to me, I did a video on this too. There's really no such thing. Hey, Stay Fishy, how's it going? Everybody stay fishy. Redmond, Oregon. He's fishes up there in Central Oregon. I grew up there. He fishes along the same river that I used to fish for salmon and steelhead when I was a kid. Awesome stuff. Beautiful country, beautiful scenery. Probably the best looking river in Central Oregon for sure. Excuse me. But as far as stacking goes, I'm just a simple, basic stacker, right? And that's where I kind of get my philosophy that this right here, when like I was trying to say, just in simplistic form, um, when the price of metals goes up, the value of the dollar goes down, right? I mean, that's what I was taught. When the price of silver and gold goes up, the value of the dollar goes down. Thank you. That's just a retro silver. Golly, where'd this itch in my throat come from? Anyhow, that's just a retro Silvertown bar. I thought it was something really cool, vintage piece that I picked up, but it wasn't. It wasn't as vintage as I thought. But as even as a kid, my dad told me that when the prices of silver and gold go up, the value of the dollar is low. When the price of the silver and gold go down, you have a strong dollar. And that's what I always kind of thought about it, and that's what I was trying to say in my last video. Who the hell out there wants a weak dollar? I had people in my comments talking about, I want the dollar to fail. It would be awesome if the dollar to fail. That way we could go into a whole new monetary system. Um, I don't think, You want some strong dong? Hell. Oh, geez, STG. You sound like constitutional stacker now. Um, God dang, that threw me all off. Shit. God damn it. So, anyhow, we want a strong dollar, you know. Okay, people in the comments, they were talking about wanting the dollar to fail. We want the dollar to fail so we can go into a whole new monetary system. Well, shit, who the hell's to say that this new monetary system is going to be so good? You know, if we're going the way, if it's already leaning the way that it's going to go, we don't want that, right? We don't want digital currency and a central digital banking system and all that other nonsense, right? That's the way it's being pushed already. So if the dollar fails completely, that's where it's going to go. That is, you know, and we want a strong dollar. In my opinion, I don't know, I got a lot of nasty comments on that. So boo on $100 an ounce silver. It ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be rainbows and unicorns and all that shit when it happens. It's gonna be a lot of people hurting. And it's not gonna be good. And when it gets that high, you're really gonna have to see the food lines are going to break out. The food banks are going to be being raided, or long lines at the food banks. That's what it's going to end up being. With inflation so bad, the price of groceries going so high. Already with this government shutdown, that's happening, they're already talking about the people that are on it. They're them things called food snaps. Their snaps benefits are going to be withheld, and yeah, there's a lot of people that are on it that probably shouldn't be on it, but there's some people that really do need it. They need a helping hand, and that's what it should be intended for, anyways, is a helping hand. It shouldn't be. Yeah, Craig, I've seen those too. Now that's a pumpkin head. Oh yeah, it lines up just right, huh? But there's people that need it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. But like Craig's saying, there's people threatening to go rob other people if they don't get it. That's wrong. Those are the type of people that probably shouldn't be on it. But the elderly people that are on a fixed income, especially now with the price of groceries going up so high, they would need that. They would need that assistance. The single mom that's busting her ass trying to work, and raise one or two kids, she needs it. But there's some of these people, and you can tell who needs them son of bitches and who don't. When you walk into the grocery store and you see I don't want to body shame anybody because, I'm fat anyways. It ain't body shaming when you're fat too, right? When you go in there and you see this 320-pound broad pushing a cart half full of Cokes, chips, cookies, Pop-Tarts, and all that other shit, then those are the people that don't need it. If they're going to do this stuff, they should do nutritious foods only, not poison. Freaking sugary cereals. You want to get food stamps? Meat, chicken, pork, dairy, fruits, and vegetables. That's it. Your goddamn days of buying fucking cases of Mountain Dew on food stamps should be over. Did I say the F word? I didn't mean to say the F word. I think I said the F word. Oh well. Um, I'd rather people have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Well, that's what lead's for. But I get what you're saying. I mean, could we not do that? Mountain Dew and pork rinds. Yeah, no kidding. Stack that gold. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that just nonsense. The girl 10 years in prison for selling baked goods with stuff she bought on Snaps. I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that. But you know what? If you want to buy your baking ingredients with food stamps and then turn around and make a profit, you have to claim that profit. You have to report that as profit, right? So there you go. I mean, maybe she should have reported the profit she was making off the baked goods. Yes, sket eating. I mean, you could start there and think about it. Think about how much that would help the U.S. farmers. I excuse me. I would have to find the source on that. I would have to find the source on that to see if it wasn't just something made up. Excuse me. That's the other thing, with stuff the way it is nowadays, we don't know what's true and what's not, or very rarely. If the media puts it out, it depends on what side of it depends on what side of the media you're looking at. A winter garden. I don't know. I don't know, Herman. I need to get a greenhouse, man. I need just, I want to make this silver money. I better start selling some MJ. You know what I'm saying? Hey, are y'all doing something? Feed that cat, please. Thank you. Government cheeses. You know, that's funny. Stack that gold. Living here in Texas in the '80s, my at one point my grandparents were getting a government food box, and then you would get that government bologna and that government cheese, and that shit was nasty. I'll tell you what, if you wanted to motivate yourself to go to work and to do better and to learn some kind of a skill or a trade, you go on that government cheese and government bologna for a couple weeks and you'll be looking for something damn sure. Craig, yeah. But here's the thing. It's not the generational family farmer that's getting all these tax incentives, Um, it's big farm, big corporation farms. That's what's horrible, man. It's just like everything else with the housing market. Once they started letting investors and corporations buy into the housing market took a shit. I think a one bedroom here in little Odessa ass Texas goes for like 1,700 a month for a one bedroom apartment, some ghetto ass apartment at that. Freaking cockroach infested bullshit, and they're wanting $1,700 a month. Why? Because so and so, corporation had 100 different investors buy into that apartment complex. Yeah, that's not good. I'm drinking a Coke, not a sponsor. It does suck, Craig. Yeah, it does. Meanwhile, China owns pork production here in the U.S. They own pork farms here in the pork, you know, pork facilities and hog farms and all that shit right here in the U.S. That's the other thing that has to come to a god dang end. Man, we need to stop letting all these foreign freaking companies own businesses here in America. I don't know what I call them OXOX. I don't know what the hell they're called. There's a Spanish word for them. Y'all remember when it was 7-Eleven? 7-Eleven then got bought out by DK or Alon. Then DK bought it out. And that didn't last too long. DK got bought out by this OXOX place. And it's a company from Mexico that owns these gas stations here all over Texas. And they're fixing to spread out even further. That's a bunch of shit too. Hey, you know what would happen if we'll say if LJ went down to Mexico and had a you know $500,000 on him, and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna open up this business over here in Mexico. Shit, the cartel would have him freaking blackmailed quicker than shit. Maybe not blackmailed, but they would have him, you know, extorting them every chance they get. The Mexican companies come over here or the corporations come over here and buy American companies so they can thrive, right? Because they don't have to worry about being extorted or having their places, well, maybe robbed every once in a while, but it's not going to be as bad as it was there, right? We can or can't invest in land in other countries. I I don't know if we can. I mean, I would love to invest some land in honestly, I would love to buy a bunch of land in Canada and Mexico. Mexico's got beautiful land, but no, Craig, most people in the U.S. won't invest. Why? Because they keep a lot of the blue collar working class people, they keep us at that level, right? That level where you can invest a little bit, but we're not going to get you, we're not going to get you to a place to where you can really invest and make a ton of money that way. I'm not saying that it's capitalism, but I'm not saying capitalism wrong. I think capitalism is great. It's great for for business. It's great for to motivate people to be entrepreneurs. Canada has some crazy politics right now. Yeah, it does. Craig, that's funny you say that. The leap of faith, right? Talking about that with a coworker today this morning. I work Saturday. I've got to work every Saturday, but I was talking about that with the coworker. He says these people that invest in things or are entrepreneurs, they got to be fearless, right? Because if you fail, that's it. That and how many times are you going to fail? How many chances are that you're going to fail in the first 10 times before you get it and get something to take off. But they're fearless because I wouldn't be able to afford, I've thought about it. I've thought, you know what? I should take my whole stack and sell it off and buy a water mill. They have water mills here. They're just kind of, you pay with your debit card or you put quarters into it and you get gallons of water For some reason, the groundwater here in West Texas tastes really shitty, the well water. So nobody uses it. A lot of people are bottled water or, unless they have an expensive R2 system. Um, did I say it? Or RO system? I said R2. Kids are watching Star Wars in the other room. So the RO systems, they go to these water mills and fill up these jugs of water. And that's kind of what everybody does here. I don't know if they do that in Midland. Maybe Herman would be able to know. But I've thought about selling the whole stack off and seeing if I could invest in something like that and just sit back. But then I thought, what if it fails? What if it doesn't work out? That would not be good, right? That's right, Richard. If you don't fail, you're not trying. But you got to get to that point where you can have the money to invest and not break the bank. And if you fail, it's not going to destroy you financially, which tends to happen to people all too often. These food trucks, there's a lot of food trucks here now. Some of them are good. I've only ever ate at like two of them, but you'll see them. And then these people pour a lot of money into these trucks. You'll see them for about a month or two, and then they're gone. They didn't work out, right? Yeah, Matt, that's what I'm saying. Failures, it's part of the learning process. But if you go broke, then that's it. Hopefully you don't go broke. But no worries there. I'm not going to sell off the stack to buy water mills here. I always thought it would be cool to buy into maybe a fast food chain, but even those are kind of iffy right now. We don't see a whole lot of people eating out right now. Mrs. and the mother-in-law are out door dashing right now, but well, I hope they're doing good. They haven't called that I know of. This, I showed this earlier. This El Paso mint. That is probably one of my favorite rounds that I have right there. That is so dang cool. The toning on it. The Six Flags. That's the Six Flags over Texas. And let me break out my magnifying glass. World Trade 1974. Yeah, I saw that in the generic tray, and I just had to pick it up. Excuse me, a while back. Now that brings me to one of my silver topics. We already know we need new medical system, a new financial system. We don't really need a new financial system. We need to reform our financial system and regulate the shit out of these banks so they can't be doing all the crooked shit they're doing. For one, and I know I've went over this before, but this shit right here, this was my big score for today. 90% silver. I don't care what anybody says. They can't tell me otherwise. I 100% believe that these frickin' banks, whether it be the bank tellers or whoever, yeah, I know, man. It's hard. It's tough having clean hands when you work like a slave, man. when you're up underneath greasy old oily freaking semi trucks all day. Kind of hard, dude. Sorry I don't go get Petties and Manny's, freaking Ferry. Get out of here with your shit. Go on. Corey and Trevor. A la verga, pinche way. Anyways, goddamn dudes looking at other dudes' fingernails. Ugly nails, bro. What are you, man? Get your shit and get going, dude. You probably check out other dudes' asses, right? Talking about, oh, that dude's got a nice looking ass. That dude's got a dimply ass. Right? Anyways, on to another. Craig, you can leave the trolls in here, man. But anyways, banks, I think banks are hoarding these 90%. I think banks are going through them, saving them up, and stockpiling the 90%. Man, that's my theory on it. For one, I don't believe that people are, that it's all the stackers in the world than collectors that have, own all the 90%. I think banks are going through and picking it out. And that's why we've been seeing less and less of it. Did you see Robert Kennedy's warning about going to the hospital? No, Richard, I did not, but I don't like going to the hospital. I don't like going to doctors. Yeah, I would too. There's a lot of people getting sick around here, and it tends to stick with people. Oh, geez, I forgot who it was. Salivate Metals. Golly, he's been sick for a little bit. Hey, are you guys done making noise?
Oh, yeah.
Come say hi to everybody.
Hi.
They can't see you. It's pointed right here, sis.
Hi.
What's your favorite piece up here?
That one.
You like that one? You like the Archangel, the St. Michael's, the Archangel?
Yeah.
That's cool, huh? Are you guys making a mess? Are you destroying your room or my room?
No, we're just having fun.
Just having fun? Cool. So we do definitely need medical, the whole healthcare system needs reformed, right? I mean, Richard, I have heard about that. I heard that a person woke up. They prepped them and rushed them in there to harvest, and this dude woke up and was like, "What are you guys doing? Why are you can't do this? I'm alive and well." I don't know. That's a kind of a tricky catch-22 with me right there, I figured out this green screen thing and I just love it. I don't know why, but yeah, I heard about that. I don't know. It would be nice if my organs were good enough when I pass away that so that could possibly save somebody's life. But then again, I don't think that man should be, and this is where you can it's a kind of a slippery slope, right? It's a tricky situation. I don't think that man was intended to play God as much as they do, When it's your time, I mean, unless it's something that's curable, I don't know. That's it's a tough question. It's a tough situation. I don't, I think I'm a donor. I don't know. I haven't checked on my driver's license, But apparently, it doesn't matter if you have donor or non-donor on your driver's license anymore. They're gonna try to take it from you anyways. Yeah. Um, Craig, we see that all the time here. We see a lot of people going to Mexico, and we're about 5 hours away from Mexico, but we see a lot of people going to Mexico to the dentist. They will leave. Guess yeah, about 5 hours. Anyways, they'll leave, take the day off work to drive to Mexico from here to go to the dentist because it's cheaper. God, isn't that? Oh, look at how good that gold comes out right there. But it's insurance. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of these doctors are probably still paying for their student loans, and then the insurance that comes with it, the malpractice suits and all that. Yeah, just insurance, man. That's another thing. I was watching a deal where, yeah, going to Juarez definitely, or Laredo. Yep, I was watching a deal on insurance, the legal type. Yeah, you could go. We'll just take auto insurance for example. You could go. Well, how long have I been? 20 plus years. I've only gotten in one situation where I needed the insurance to cover some damage to a vehicle, and I hit a deer. I was going salmon fishing out there along the Deschutes River, and I smacked a deer with my pickup. I had it insured, so they took care of that. Fender, new radiator, everything else was pretty much okay. Um, what did But here I am, 30 years later, and I've never needed it. I've never had to use insurance for it, for anything. The minute I do, what happens? They fight it. These insurance companies fight the claims. You know, how can that be right? How can that be right that you pay into a system all dang near all your life, so when you finally do need it, they reject it or they try to fight it? That's a scam, if you ask me. You know, government mandated scam. But we'll see. Uh, I have a hell of a time even taking ibuprofen, and so I usually don't. I don't take prescriptions. I don't like prescriptions. I just if I do feel sick, I'll drink some NyQuil. Yeah, that's what do they call them? Xanaxes. I don't touch the stuff, man. There's there's a lot of natural remedies out there. Uh, dandelions. Dandelions are supposed to be super healthy for you. Um, they they can I think they can lower your blood sugar or balance your blood sugar out, lower your cholesterol. That's right, Craig. NyQuil, Sprite, and chicken noodle soup, man, when you're not feeling good. I've never been I've never, I wrecked a four-wheeler once, and I don't know how I managed to do it, but Bootsy, thank God for good health. Still pretty healthy, I think. I hope. I don't know. I haven't been to a doctor to find out. But I wrecked a four wheeler one night. We were out partying out in the mountains, and I had probably a half bottle of Crown in me, and I went through a fence and I smacked the T post with my shoulder. I'm surprised I didn't break anything, but I went to the doctor for it, and she prescribed me Percocets. I mean, this some bitch was yellow. It was damn near gold colored. That bruise on it. It was deep. And I took him, and I didn't really care for him too much. I didn't like that. I was working swing shift at a wood mill, and I would get off work at midnight. I would drive home. I'd get home about 1 o'clock at night, and I would take 2 Percocets. And probably after the third night of doing that, I was like, wait a minute, why am I taking this shit? I'm able to work. If I'm able to work, then I don't really need it. And I just poured the prescription flushed it down the toilet. It's all, in the mind, right? I've been having some crazy knee problems this week. Right now, it doesn't hurt, but tomorrow it might hurt like a son of a gun. I mean, and it's a shooting pain from the side of my knee to to the other side of my knee. And today I noticed that I started feeling it in my hip. And Mrs. is telling me, is there anything you want for it? Do you want to go to the doctor for it? Do you want to do this? I said, well, why? I said, I'll find a knee brace somewhere. I'll put a knee brace on it for a little bit, and it'll go away just like it always has. I said, maybe it's because I'm getting old and the weather's changing. I don't know. But I damn sure know I don't need to take anything for it. Because that just causes a whole nother set of problems, right? I tell you, part of the freaking reason why I hate going to the dang doctor is, let me tell you. Nice. And I'm not saying that people, shouldn't go to the doctor. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying for the way I am, and I'm not saying that all doctors are bad. I'm sure there's some doctors that will provide some life-saving procedures when you need it. But I'm saying that when you go there because, okay, let's go back this way a little bit. And probably the early 2000s to 2010, you had a large number of young women that were going to the doctors and getting prescribed narcotics, and the doctors were diagnosing them with rheumatoid arthritis. If any of us have been in the dating scene and between our mid-20s and probably early to mid-30s, you'd have to come across some girl that had been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm like, why and how? Because that used to be a diagnosis for old women that were seamstress all their lives, right? They would diagnose, and then they would prescribe them Vicodins. It's a horrible thing. Chiropractors, I've been to a chiropractor once. That might be what my problem is. I might need to go again, but there are some doctors out there that are still doing good and doing the right thing. But when big farms started cutting them these checks to push these prescriptions, that was when it all went wrong. A lot of natural remedies. I've never tried acupuncture. I got slapped in the leg by a porcupine. Does that count? Well, that's just the medical reform, gents, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there's any ladies in the chat. The banking system, we don't need a new monetary system, because the way, like I said before, the way it's leaning, it's not going to be something that's going to be advantageous to us. God dang, I'm using some big freaking words, right? It's not going to be to our advantage. Whatever this new banking system or financial system it is that they want to go to, or that these people that want $100 an ounce silver, it's not going to be what they think it is, and more than likely it's going to be worse than what we have now. So we might as well want a strong dollar. Schools, golly, these schools are with that pumpkin head. Y'all have any school-age children? We got 3 here. And I don't know if they're getting any better of an education at school than they were here being homeschooled. Yeah. We got one of my daughters that's cool. Transit, we'll take a look. All right, Herman, man, stay safe, buddy. I'll catch you live here in a second. What the hell are they teaching these kids? Do they teach them history? I mean, really, is history and math and English, well, science too, and social studies, but I guess social studies kind of should run hand in hand with history, right? But do they even teach these classes in school anymore to these kids? Do they have any idea what the hell they're talking about? You know, we'll go with this whole no kings deal that happened a few weeks ago. And these other people, you know, they love using that fascism word, or you're a fascist, you're a you know. But if they were actually teaching history, real history, they would understand and they would know what that word really means. You know, it wouldn't be thrown around so easily, you know, just because they don't agree with. If somebody doesn't agree with you or your ideas or your beliefs, and the first thing that comes to their mind is to turn around and call you a fascist, well, they should be looking in the mirror when they say that shit, right? I mean, that's the first word they're going to throw at you because you don't believe the same thing they believe. Matt, that's right. And here's the how do I say this? Wasn't it a few years ago? It started a few years ago. It was still going on, and I think it actually still is. But it was a trendy thing for Americans that are a darker shade of brown to call their males or male children, they would call themselves kings, right? Or they would call them kings, like that's my king right there, right? That's he's a king. And now they come out and say no King's Day. That's weird. And stack that gold, yeah, it depends on where you live, right? I grew up in a small country town that everybody thought was shit and thought the high school was shit and the education there was shit, but it actually was pretty decent. People just gave it that stigma is because where we lived in a ranch community area that was, at the time, it was predominantly white that lived there, and everybody else was a redneck. Everybody that lived there was a dumb hillbilly redneck. You rain. Well, you guys make millions? You guys make millions? I'm doing live stream, so.
Do it again.
Huh?
Do it again.
Not at night.
Come tell everybody how much you love DoorDash. Come on, sweetie. Hey, everybody, Mrs. just walked in the door. She's going to let y'all in on the 411 about DoorDash.
It sucks in heavy traffic.
So come sit down right here and tell everybody about it. Oh,
Hold on, let me rush into the little girl's room.
little girl's room. All right. Well, how much did y'all make? Did y'all make $1 million?
40. Do you know that we went all the ways to Midland and then all the ways out west? Yeah.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing. They gave me two. It said one popped up and said $11, and I was like, yes. And I took it. It gave me two different orders. One for right here off of Patton Street, and one I had it because they were both from Canes, and then one way out west.
So why'd you have to go to Midland?
Traffic is.
We didn't know. We didn't know how to check to see where the address was. We accepted it. So we accepted it thinking that it was close by and it was in Midland.
And what was the tip?
$13, I think, $11.
From here to Midland was $11? How much freaking...
And you should have seen the house. You should have seen the house.
Damn. Matt said hi, and Bootsy said a liberal bullion dealer. It was their first time dashing the doors, everybody. Their first time, and I don't think they liked it. Anyhow, man, what did I miss? It was the Miss West Texas and the mother-in-law. Yeah, first and last. I don't know. I think they, I mean, that, honestly, it's their first time doing it. There's probably little tricks that they need to learn how to do to not end up 20 miles away and then turn around and coming all the way back this way. I don't know. Yeah, Craig. I'll never forget this Pizza Hut delivery that I did. It was probably, it was over, this house was worth over $1 million easy, which in today's age isn't hard to do, right? But it was a nice, big, beautiful house. And I went to deliver the pizza, and the lady looked at me when I at the door, and her husband walked by, and she turned and looked at him, and he shook his head no, and I didn't get a tip. It was kind of shitty. There's a whole, I don't know, there's a few things. What'd you make here?
It's from a dude.
What is it, Band-Aids?
Yeah.
What does it say?
A band.
Oh, that's your B?
Yeah, Band-Aid.
Oh, cool. You need to make your B a little better.
I know, but there's Band-Aids inside.
Oh, you made Band-Aids inside? Okay, she wants to show everybody the little Band-Aids she made inside. Well, that's cool.
Thank you.
Well, there's this whole tipping thing going on right now where people that do work in the food industries, they're expecting a gratuity every time, right? And I don't agree with that, because sometimes the service could be really that shitty where, they don't really deserve a 18% tip. And not only that, if you're going out to eat anywhere, look at your ticket, look at your receipt, because sometimes that gratuity is added into it. And then you turn around and tip on top of it, not knowing. Next thing you know, there's a frickin' $75 tip on there or something like that. But yeah, I never really expected it, but it was nice, Yeah, I didn't see that, but I wouldn't doubt it. I've had people tip me a nickel before. There was a guy that was fairly rude that went to tip me $1, and he went to hand it to me, and I just turned around and walked away. Yeah, Matt, that's the thing though, that for bad service you should tip less, but now they're already, even with bad service, they're expecting that 18% minimum. But Richard, I'm not sure if they quit that yet. I'm not sure if they stopped that no taxing the tips yet. I don't know, because I don't work on tips right anymore. So hold on, everybody. Maddie, are you staying here? Oh, okay. All right. You going? You leaving again? Yeah.
No.
One of the things I would do when I was doing these deliveries is I would take about 5 Mercury dimes with me, and I would try to drum up some business for Mr. Chris there at the vault, and I would slip a Mercury dime in there. And on some of the lucky people, I would hand it to them. When I was doing the delivery, I would tell them, I would tell them, here, if you don't mind, let me give you a little something. And I would hand them over this flip with the mercury dime in it. And I would hand it to them and, you know, maybe pique their interest a little bit, right? I know I was kind of being outed on some money, you know, right there, but I think at the time, shit, and it wasn't even that long ago. I think at the time, mercury dimes were only, yeah, they were less than $2 each, right? So they were less than $2, and I thought, cool, it'll drum up some business for them. Maybe, hopefully, maybe people will go in and see what it's about. And I'll be damned if I didn't hand one to this son of a bitch, and he looked at me and says, "What the F are you doing with this?" And I was like, "You sorry SOB, man. You gonna freaking say some shit like that to me when I'm just trying to, you know, do a little bit for you? You know, I'm just trying to, like, you know." And he came at me ugly and rude, pissed me right the F off, man. I was so goddamn mad.
Show yourself.
Yeah. You want to show yourself?
No.
Well, you look as pretty as you did earlier. Huh?
No.
Okay, don't then. I don't care.
What is that background?
The picture, a picture that I took.
Let me get my phone so I can get on.
So, anyways, yeah, he came at me all kinds of weird about it, like I wasn't qualified to have a goddamn mercury dime, right? A Wing Liberty dime. God dang, that irritated the shit out of me,
I can't find my phone.
and it was really hard for me to keep doing it after that. I did, and one of the funny things though to that is
Like, how quick?
I did the same thing, but it was a couple kids, you know, probably about 12, 13 years old. I handed it to him, and he looked at it, and he was like, "Dang, that's cool." He says, "Don't touch it, though, because it has mercury in it." And I was like, this kid obviously heard something from somebody. You know, he knew it was a mercury dime, but he thought it was called a mercury dime because it literally had mercury in it. I thought that was cool as shit, though. But I told him, I was like, "No, you can touch it. It ain't gonna hurt you. It's 90% silver, and the reason why they call it a mercury dime is because she resembles the the Greek goddess Mercury, or Roman god or Greek god or something like that." But I'll see, Richard. I'll look into that. I don't know. I ain't really thought about that too much, that Pizza Hut stuff. Since I quit there, or since I got kind of pushed out of there. But hold on a second, everybody. Did you find your phone?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Oh, okay. Guess what?
What?
You know, everybody's been kind of running a little bit sick around here.
Yeah.
I think I might be having it too now. My throat's getting a little scratchier as I go on. Mercury, the goddess of communication. Yeah, well, I just thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty cool that kid said that. You know, he really thought it was made out of mercury, and he's like, "Don't touch it. It's poisonous." I don't know if y'all have heard or watched or have seen him, but Tiger Stacker, go ahead and keep him in your prayers. You can watch his last video he put out and to find out why it's not, you know, kind of feeling for the guy, but yeah, we'll see what happens, you know, just keep him in your prayers. That Tiger is not a bad dude. He's kind of funny and kind of, you know, a little odd sometimes, but he's a hell of a guy. Hell of a nice guy. So, yeah, Matt, I never got handed any mercury, but I've played with it before. Just kind of, I always liked the way it beaded up and moved around in your hand. You know, that was always kind of cool. Maybe that's what's wrong with me, right? Yeah, a great guy. So if you want to find out what's going on with him, go watch his last live. But yeah, hopefully all does go well. Like I said, just pray for the guy. Oh man. Well, she says she was on her way out. She wants to talk to everybody. She wants to say hi to everybody, but she's taking her dang time, sweet time about it. You want to see something wild?
Okay.
About time for me to cut my hair.
Hi, everyone.
What do you think?
How's it going, y'all?
Yeah, prayers for Tiger for sure.
Yep.
Hey, Stack Attacker Wager.
Howdy, y'all.
I think the gray shows up more like this.
I don't like the way people look in front of the backgrounds.
What do you mean? Like it's all digitally?
Yeah, it just looks weird.
Well, it's better than that big ass light on behind me, that's for sure. Yeah. What do you like my hair?
No.
You want to shave it right now?
No,
Why?
I'm tired.
No, I'll shave it.
Go ahead, but
Right
I'm not
here?
cleaning up no mess.
Oh man, well I ain't gonna clean it up. Richard said
Are
hi.
you kidding me? You wanted me to clean it up?
Somebody cleaned it up. Do the pumpkin. Oh shit. Add 40-second short was uploaded to your channel. No, I don't want to add a 40-second. What am I doing? I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Ooh, you see that? Spooky. Did you know you could do that?
Mm-mm.
Ooh. Oh, who's Kansas Kid? I didn't see is Kansas Kid in here. I didn't see the Kansas Kid in here. Stack Attacker Wager, Kansas Kid. Why I ain't getting up? Oh, I'll get up. Oh, hey, Kansas Kid, what's up, man? How are you doing? Sorry. So tell us about your grand door dashing experience tonight.
Well, it was far from grand. It's just it on a Saturday in this town at night is insane.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times it's different than what you did. Okay, it's not like what you did. You would go from your place of business to the house and back.
Yeah.
This is you go to different restaurants, pick up, go into stores, shop, whatever, and then you take it to different houses, and then you go to another restaurant.
Yeah. Same
So-
stores though, right?
No, it's not.
Well,
the
well, I
same
mean,
stores.
no, I mean, but same roads, same traffic, right? Spooky.
Hey, Joe,
ghost.
Kansas Kid. I'm about to be receiving something extremely classified. Well, you better keep us in the know, J-Lo.
J-Lo, if you're gonna receive something extremely classified, you make sure you hold that shit tight, man. Don't let nobody know. That's classified. That means the government's trusting you with it, and you can't tell nobody. That's why it's classified.
Don't piss off the government, bro.
Don't do that. Just keep it under wraps, buddy. Keep it under wraps, man. Actually, I would take that classified information you have, I would seal it in an ammo can, tinfoil, and something else, and I'd go bury it out in the yard, man. Don't let nobody know. Right? So what else? What else? Tell us. Traffic's horrible. I know traffic's horrible. It was horrible on all the streets when I was delivering the pizzas. Y'all wanna know something crazy? This right here, the majority of this part of the stack right here that I got,
I mean, you can use a little bit.
well, this ain't even all of it, but just this, like, we'll just say this little amount right here, I got from pizza delivering,
Better not use the whole roll.
right? That was all kind of Pizza Hut money right there.
I just,
That's wild.
look, if you want to do DoorDash, it's got to be for someone that just needs a little bit of like pocket cash, or it's got to be somebody that does it from sun up to sundown to make any money.
Yeah. You gotta
We
put.
did it from 5:30 to 9
Yeah.
o'clock,
Uh-huh.
and we made $40.
Uh-huh.
So we're still gonna we're not scheduled tomorrow like I thought we were. So
You gotta
tomorrow
bust
off.
your ass doing it. You gotta
Monday
do
and
it
Wednesday.
8 hours. If you're gonna make money on it, you gotta do it 8 hours a day, every day.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And you gotta be quick. And there's gotta be some way, I don't know, I've never done it before, but there's gotta be some way on the app that you can tell how far or where the order's going to before you pick it up.
There is, but we're learning. We just
Yeah.
it was our first night.
First night,
we just didn't
40
know.
bucks.
We had to like learn as we went.
$40 in about 4 hours. Y'all made $10 an hour between, you and your mom
No.
being helping, about $10 an hour. Huh?
I did most of it, but,
Well, I
But
remember.
that's why I went, because I knew she's too old to be getting off, and
Yeah.
she could fall, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Craig.
Yeah.
And you're right. Don't tell nobody when you become wealthy. Don't brag to nobody. Don't let nobody know.
Hey, if I win the Mega Millions,
Yeah, it was a learning curve.
if I win the Mega Millions,
I know.
I ain't telling nobody, but there'll be signs.
There will be signs.
There will be
I can't
signs.
even go buy an ounce of silver with that. You're right.
Nope. Damn, ain't that some shit? Hey, but you know what? If you could do it every day, tomorrow you add $40 today.
Hey, LJ.
You add $40 to the $60 you make tomorrow.
Is that Richard?
Yep.
Hey, Richard.
To maybe the $100 you make the next day. By the end of the week, you have enough to go buy you a 10-ounce bar. You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't get great tips every
And
night.
like one popped up, and so it was like $11. So I was like, heck yeah, it's another $11 one. I'm looking and I see it's in Odessa. I just can't see exactly what side or how far. So I click on it, and then it pops up. You have 2 orders to pick up. I only agreed to one. Well, that was our last one. It was one on Patton Street, just right here off of University by the Y. And then the other one, and none of those houses had addresses on them. They were pitch dark. They could have at least turned on the porch light.
The porch
for me.
light?
They didn't turn on the porch light, and then when I got there, I put his stuff down because I was gonna take a picture, and he came out, and it was like a younger Hispanic guy. And I was like, I'm sorry, just let me take a picture real quick. And I took a picture, and then when I went to walk off, I heard the drink just fall. And I turned around, and he had knocked the drink down. I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. He goes, no, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Did you get any cash tips?
No.
Shit, no. Damn, this DoorDash shit doesn't sound like it's gonna work out, huh?
I didn't see anybody. He's one of the only 2 people, him and another girl. That's it. Everybody else just wanted it on their door.
I would get that on pizzas, and I would knock on the door anyways.
Oh, I would ring their doorbell.
And you
stuff.
know what? And I would sit there and wait. And sometimes they would ask me, "You can just leave it right there." I said, "There's a stray dog running around out here. You want him eating your food or what?" When his nephew asked why he needed money, he said he didn't. He just wanted to make sure that no one. So that's it. I mean, nothing else.
That's pretty smart. Very, very smart. That's how you get them.
Anything else? Nothing else exciting happened?
Yeah, so that Midland, okay, so the Midland house was
Mhm.
literally, okay, so you know how right when you get on 191, right, ooh, sticker.
There's got a dang goat head in your ass.
No.
Where'd that come from?
It wasn't on my ass, it was on the back of my leg. It was in the seat, I guess.
It was in the seat. Hey, retired military, how you
Hey,
doing?
Retired military, how are
So
you?
everybody, Mrs. is telling us her great DoorDash experience that she had tonight. They're
Well,
first timers here.
They're not.
You sure you don't want to show your face?
No.
You
I don't-
positive?
No, I don't. There's too much lighting. I don't like a lot of lighting. See flaws.
Flaws.
I mean, not that I have any.
Just
Not that I
showed-
have any.
I
but,
just showed
you
my
know.
goddamn gray hair like this, and you're gonna talk about flaws.
And so anyway, they're not gonna really know.
All right, Jill. Once I receive the classified information, I store it in a hard drive somewhere because it's seriously classified into.
Well, can you tell us, JLo?
No, you can't say shit.
Oh,
The
yeah.
CIA's on it. Don't save it in a hard drive. Don't do none of that shit. Take it, bury it in the yard, J-Lo. Once you go putting it on a hard drive, they're going to be able to track you, and they'll know exactly where you're at.
So they're not gonna understand this, but you will. So you know when you're getting into Midland and
Uh-huh.
like, there's a bunch of houses right here, real fancy houses, right?
Yeah.
Right, like you can.
Yep.
Okay. That's where the house was.
Uh-huh.
But it took us down Highway 80.
Uh-huh.
And then we got turned around on we almost got hit trying to like find our way. Cars were just coming, like about to mow us down. And then on the way back from Midland, something was in the road and it just came out of nowhere and it was rolling and we ran over it. Then there was another.
You ran it over?
Yeah, I
What the
couldn't.
hell was it?
I don't know. It looked like a styrofoam tubing, like insulation tubing.
Okay,
or
so
something.
it wasn't like a semi-truck tire flying through there. Okay.
Yeah, right. If I ran over that in Mom's car, we'd probably not be here. So, anyway, and so then, when we were leaving that house, Mom went, there was a light, we could see a light, and that was the way where you could get out and go right to
Uh-huh.
Odessa. And we were going, and all of a sudden, right when we got up to this one spot, I said, "Stop!" I saw grass. It was like a raised up concrete with grass. Like, you know how they do that sometimes? It was just so bizarre where
Yeah.
they had it. It was like in the middle of a road almost.
Uh-huh.
Like they closed the road off with that. And we were this close. Like her tires hit, like bumped into the curb. Her car was 62. She would have tore her car up. She would have tore it up.
So how about you try that?
Can you believe it took us to Highway 80
Yeah, that's
instead
weird.
of just taking us to 191? It would have been faster.
That's right,
That's
Craig.
right. You got a notification
Oh,
saying
see.
that you won something?
I don't know, buddy.
here?
I don't know. What's where do I mail it to? That was it.
I'm
So
gonna get something. We're gonna clean your nails here in a minute.
yeah, so yeah, I already had some culetto over here talking about my dirty nails.
You had a troll.
Yeah.
Did you have a bunch of trolls at first?
No trolls at all. So all that for $40, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, man. You know, I had nights like that at the Pizza Hut, but at least I was making $10 an hour too while I was there.
Well, trust me.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't work out for
Oh,
you.
see.
Do you want to do the whatnot tomorrow then? You want to try doing whatnot tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you
do.
think maybe you could make some boxes up of this makeup and sell it on, try to sell it
Yeah.
on whatnot? You think that might be easier?
LJ, I'm just like, so like, I was so overwhelmed. I don't know if you've ever like, well, probably not you, but like, I've had jobs where the first day on the job was like so stressful that it made me never want to go back again. That's kind of how this feels. Like, I don't think my mom should be out doing this stuff, number one. Okay, she's too old. She's retired. She shouldn't be having to do that. And number
Do
two,
you forget you're probably talking to people about the same age as your mom that are out there working their asses off, right?
I don't know. I guess I didn't think about that. So,
Come on, get closer. You're not. It's facing that way, so don't worry.
so,
Well, you got
That's
all
how it kinda
dressed up.
felt,
You
like-
got all dressed up, looking all pretty, and you only got $40. Damn, that's
well, because they give the tips, like, you don't see anybody really.
Yeah, I know.
Good evening, AI. Yeah, AI just did DoorDash. AI doesn't like DoorDash.
Well, I wish it would have worked out for you. But you know, you can find work from home places. Not you. I'm not saying you have to work.
Well, I know, but I want to make extra money. I want to make money to invest. That's what I want to do.
You want to make money to buy silver and gold
Well, in crypto.
and crypto.
Yeah, LJ, I think that's my next venture. I think I'm going to do Whatnot. I might do really good on Whatnot. I may be really bad, but I'm going to try it.
I think you should try to keep doing this DoorDash, but maybe just earlier in the day, like during the week.
Greg.
There's a lot of people that do DoorDash because they're at work and they'll order food and then they'll have it DoorDash to their place, you know, to where they work. And you won't be driving all the way down to West Odessa
No.
or flipping Midland or any of that shit. You'll be going from Subway to some office somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm not saying
And just schedule it during
I'm
the
not
week.
just gonna do it one time and give up. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get. We're gonna try it again. We're scheduled for Monday and scheduled for Wednesday. So we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. OC, a cooking channel, like I don't know. Maybe I thought about doing a channel on, like doing my own channel on like other things, but I don't know.
Soups. The colder weather's coming. You could do soups. Between you and your mom, you got what, like 2 or 3 freaking Instapots?
Yes.
You guys both. Your mom makes some badass soups in the wintertime. And Mrs.
Thank you, LJ. That's so sweet.
This might sound not very good, but she makes this. What the hell is that shit? Cheeseburger soup?
No.
No, you made it before.
You're
It's
talking about-
cheeseburger soup.
Oh, not the Mexican?
No, not the Mexican.
Oh.
You made cheeseburger soup.
Yes, I did.
And that shit
Hey, JK.
tastes just like. This soup is so damn good. It tastes just like a cheeseburger. For reals, it was delicious.
Yeah, it's even got like pickles in it and stuff. No lettuce or tomato, but like it's got like onion and pickles.
And it tastes just like a freaking cheeseburger.
It's really good. Hey, Transit.
Caldo de carne y queso. Yeah.
Craig is super Mexican.
He lives in Hawaii. What are you doing?
Seeing the way I look in these glasses.
Why, are you going to show yourself?
No.
Well, then why are you seeing the way you look in the glasses? Anyhow, around here, folks, if y'all didn't know, maybe it's like this where you live, or maybe not, but we have women called burrito ladies that drive around to these shops. Some of them park on the side of the road, especially on heavy oil field traffic roads. There'll be an intersection. They'll park right there and they'll sell burritos right out of the freaking trunk of their car. They will make anywhere from 100 to 200 homemade burritos and sell them depending on what part of town they're on. Sometimes they're $6 or $7 a burrito, and they'll sell 100 of them son of bitches and before lunch.
Yeah, OJ, he didn't give up.
Tamales, the tamale ladies, they sell them $25 a dozen. They'll make
Well, that's
shit.
what we were talking about doing.
They'll make 20 dozen
'Cause
tamales and sell them all.
Nobody goes and sells tamales over there,
Yeah,
right?
no, but they go get them from the restaurants.
Yeah, but if we went and they liked ours better, they would probably buy ours.
Maybe, but I would go with the soups first on this cold day, on these cold mornings.
Thank you, OJ. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think in abundance instead of thinking in lack, because I tend to do that a lot. All of us do. Like, we think in lack. We think like a poor person, and then it continues to keep us poor. So you got to. I've made a video on this. You got to have a rich man's mentality, and go from there, and be willing to try anything. To hustle and make a quick buck.
Chicles, get us chicle.
Oh yeah. One time, Stack That Gold, I was in let's see, where was it? Nogales, Mexico.
Mhm.
And there was a lady trying to give her baby to people. And when we were walking by, and she like held out her baby, like for us to take her baby. She was like on the streets, and like just you could tell they were like in a bad way.
Yeah, well-
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that woman trying to hand her baby to people. It was so sad. I'll never
Well,
see anything
I
like
think the
it.
moral of the story is that the Mexican lady with the baby tied to her back,
Almost
selling
like
gum to hustle.
she also
You know?
had two other little kids with her.
Yeah.
She had like 3 kids. Like, man, if I were to do, I don't know, I would have like completely helped her. If
Well.
I was a kid, so.
Menudo's a big
Oh
thing
my
around
gosh,
here, but
OJ, my mom makes it so damn good too.
Menudo's kind of a picky thing, You could just make different soups, different caldos, and people would go for it.
They do, Matt. They really do. I'll never forget that I was a kid, and I remember that. And I was like, I asked my aunt, I was like, what was she doing trying to hand you her baby? My aunt's like, she's trying to give it to me. She wants me to take her baby.
Yeah. Well, where there's a will, there's a way. And check this out. Look, I can do this. I don't have any other ones. I need some cooler ones. Cool, dude. Isn't that awesome looking? But anyways,
That is cool.
the whole thing is that where there's a will, there's a way. You got to hustle. You got to find out what you want to do, and you never know. I mean, that gal that goes and sells burritos there at the shop, she makes about 100 burritos a day or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she sells them for $3 a piece, $3.50 with the Coke
Thanks, Craig. I hope so.
or something like that. $3 or $4 with the Coke, and she sells all of them. Boom! She just made.
Hello, Joseph.
Hey, Joseph, from
Joseph, how
Southeast
are
Texas.
you?
But I mean,
Fellow
they,
Texan. Always
they-
love to see a fellow Texan.
she makes that every day. But she's hand rolling these goddamn burritos first thing in the morning. She's up,
I thought you said she makes them at night.
or she makes them the night before and rolls them up. But I mean, still, she's got to she's putting in some time, to do it. But I mean, who the frick is out there making $300 a day under the table? That's pretty goddamn good money right there. You know what I mean?
Dang, LJ, that must have been some badass menudo.
I mean, for reals, that's not bad money. $300 a day under the table
For what?
for the burritos. You don't
Every
think
day?
every day or every other day?
Every
but
day
still,
she sells out.
every day, just every day she sells out.
Thank you, Craig.
You sprinkle a little bit of yayo on them shits, and you'll have them customers calling you for more burritos.
I don't know if I can make Ben Run Burrito. I don't think I can make him as a little old Mexican lady.
No, but you and your mom, what I'm saying is you and your mom make damn good soups. You put them in the cups, you put them in the cooler, you haul ass down there in the morning when it's still freaking cold out. You sell them $10 a cup. You make 20 cups, you sell all 20 of them right there. Hey, everybody, I got a freaking question for you in the chats. You could do it. Put a pot in them, and one person would buy them all.
That's true. Hey, Nickel.
Nickel, what's going on, man? Nickel's happy because his Indiana Hoosiers beat UCLA today.
All right, on. Congratulations, bro.
UCLA ain't much of a team, though. Where's the microwave? Right there, buddy.
That is a microwave,
That
bud.
is the microwave. See?
It's just he couldn't focus in last time when we did that live, so that's why it looked like weird.
The Dodgers won baseball. What the hell's... I don't like baseball. Okay. Anybody have cats in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you have cats. I hate cats, but are you gonna get in here or what?
No, I was just seeing what I look like in this live.
Well, why?
Because I might want to show myself one day.
Okay, well, anyways, 1 out left, Nickel. I don't stack cats.
I do.
Okay, so
Why are you pissed,
what are
STG?
these things running out here? Listen, every time we have silver laying out, these cats want to get into it. And I don't mean they want to tear it up and piss on it or
They like to
doing
roll
that.
on it. And
They like to like lay on it and like, I mean, I'm not shitting you guys.
Oh, because the Dodgers won.
They like to sit or lay on top of the silver, and I think that's just such it's it's odd. It's an odd thing to me.
Oh, Craig, what did you do with them? Did you take them to the shelter? Cats love money.
Well, actually, what I think it is, cocaine. Yeah, on the burritos, man. I'm telling you, she would sell them shits like crazy. They'd sell out every day, right?
Yep.
I think that cats can sense the healing properties of silver.
Well, they're
They're more in tune to that shit.
Their purr
Yeah.
vibrates at like a certain hertz, and it's a healing. It's healing
To what? You?
to
Or
humans.
to
Like it
humans.
can be healing. It can help you heal. Silver is cold. That kind of makes sense.
Well, no, because it's they don't, that's always cold in this freaking house. They don't want cold. They like the heat.
Yeah, they do like heat.
But anyhow, it was freezing tits in here, by the way, when I walked in. That some bitch was down to 65, the thermostat.
That's so sad, Craig. They're pretty rampant here too. Like I'm taking care of 6 kittens that the mom just left. Well, they're not really kittens. They're getting big. But since their mom left, when I walk outside and they hear my voice, they all come running to me.
So anyways, I think, I don't know. I think they can sense something about it. And just now while we were doing this,
There were
we had
a handful of hundreds on the bed. They were all in them.
I think that one of the cats was getting ready to climb up in here
She was.
and check it out. But I think they can sense the properties of silver, and
Dang, I thought
kind
it
of
was
makes them want to
cold.
get.
In our house, we keep it at 68, 66. That's like a refrigerator.
I told you what I had to turn it up to, right?
What?
I said when I walked in here, it was freezing tits. It was at 66, the thermostat.
What?
Yes. Yes.
What was it set on?
66.
That wasn't me. That was not me. Not me. I never turned it down to 66. Never.
Yeah. Well, I'm just telling you what it was at when I got here. It was horribles. Well,
It's not really cold here, Greg. Finally starting to be in like the lower 80s, higher 70s around there.
It was cold this morning.
Did Mister just call himself out?
It was chilly and foggy, and it would have been great.
About what, OC? What
Look,
did-
look
what
at
did
this
he-
thing. Look at this thing.
What did he
Look,
call
look.
himself out?
He's fixing to make a mess of something.
Ducky? Ducky?
I'm throw my hat.
Ducky? He's a good boy.
I went too far in 72 hours. I'm going to
Oh, you
receive
heard the
classified
truck?
info from the
What is
CIA,
that?
and Grays are going to hunt me down. J-Lo, do you need a fallout shelter? You need to bunker up, dude.
Matt, the cat's turned it down. That's funny.
You need
Oh
a,
yeah, yeah. Probably was him.
yeah, I turned it up. I touched it all right. I turned the some bitch back up to 70. Boy, that's the other thing with stacking.
I
we
did
got
see that nickel. That was insane. It knew it was fixing to fall and it pulled her out of the chair. That was crazy. Remember the one where we saw where the lady was sitting reading a book and she had like a little
yeah.
like an overhang, yeah.
But the dog pulled her out of the
yeah.
way. Crazy animals got such a weird
The
sense of
animals they see things we don't
sense,
see. They sense
you know?
things we don't sense. I believe animals have these mystical powers that they use sometimes.
Yeah, and our dog, he's so wolf-like. He's got majestic, mystical powers.
He's beautiful though. He
Can't
looks
you
like
see
a
him?
wolf.
He's always
He's my wolf boy.
doing his majestical thing right now, like he
those-
always does.
Dude, Craig, we had those when I was little. Those are awesome.
Mexican fleece blankets to keep you warm.
Oh, LJ, I have no
Shit,
doubt.
I don't know about fleece, but I had some that felt like freaking burlap bags.
I don't think it takes much to crush her anyway, but that's awesome.
Crush who?
AOC. I don't know, y'all. Crazy times. I think we're fixing to go through some stuff. Hope everybody's prepared.
Shit, Nickel, you better hurry up, dude. It looks like Fetterman has a crush on AOC. You better get to her, son.
Earthquakes and eruptions and this 3i Atlas is supposed to, like, the sun's releasing like a lot of I guess plasma. And something about 3i Atlas, like coming in and around and stuff, it could cause like earthquakes and stuff here.
Craig.
Craig, that's funny. That is hilarious. When did you get on the live?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, my throat's getting itchier and itchier. But it's 2 hours. We better jump off. We better jump off this thing. You curled your hair today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Looks pretty, huh?
Yep, looks pretty.
Get up. No. I'm not gonna show myself. Nope. Stop. Not gonna show me.
Nope.
Show my pretty hair.
All right. Well, everybody, I think we're going to jump off here. It's been 2 hours. I'm a little hungry. And,
Right? Stack that gold.
she was like, oh, man.
I know you could see me a little bit.
What? No, they can't.
She does.
But you guys have a good night. Have a great week. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If silver stays down over, well, now you just showed your eyeball.
So I just
Yes. If silver
Right
stays
now.
down below 50 this week, we're going to see a pretty good dip, I think. I think it'll probably close next Friday below
No AI on my screen.
It'll definitely close below 50 next week again, if nothing major happens. I don't like predicting the price of silver, and that is one of the things I was talking about, who the frick decided that they were a silver stacking pro? Is there a course you can take for this? Oh, look, we got another troll. See, two chins. You teach them, Nickel. You're a stacking pro. Yeah, I hate that whole term. Stacking pro. The fuck does that mean? How hard, dude? You don't need to be much of a professional to walk into an LCS and be like, "Give me a couple ounces of silver, please." 8:30 Pacific time. We'll do, OC. We will be there. I'm gonna stop and check out Herman for a little while, but depends on how much money you have. Yeah, I mean, a stacking pro is not something like it. You don't need to be a professional at it. There's no such thing as a professional stacker. You're a stacker or you're not. The size of your stack doesn't determine what kind of a stacker you are, unless you're Stack That Gold, because he's got a shitload of gold and he's a professional silver gold stacker. But you know what I mean? It's not something like you want to give people advice on stacking silver. Buy generic silver. You want to give them even better advice on stacking silver? Buy what you like. Buy what you want. Are bars better than rounds? Are eagles better than rounds?
AI is your mentor, OC. That's the way to do it. Stay in the shadows.
Yeah, Craig. That's my fishing rods. I have lots of them. I get in trouble by the Oh, Stay Fishy Redmond. Man, a couple ounces of silver never hurts. I loved fishing. I fished Haystack Reservoir. I fished Ochoco, Primeville Reservoir, the Deschutes River, the Crooked. I fished just about all over the whole dang state. And being here where there's not very much water, silver and gold kind of took its place. And you know what? I probably spent about the same amount of money, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's right, OC. Buy it cheap and get as much weight as you can. But, when it all comes down to it, people are going to buy what they want. And it's not, who are we to say that it's a mistake? I'm not a fan of goldbacks at all. We have some. That's no secret. I don't really like goldbacks that much. But who am I to tell people like, hey, don't stack goldbacks? Because you know what? People are making money on them right now, right? Mm-hmm. They bought goldbacks when they were $2, $3 a piece for a one goldback, and now they're $8. Logically, you could say, well, you could have bought 2 ounces of gold for the same price you could buy 1,000 goldbacks with, right? But when they're making money on it and they're going up in value, you can't really argue that, So
I'm beat.
Monday through Thursday, you'll be at it. We'll catch a couple big steelhead, man. I love steelhead. If y'all never had steelhead and salmon, steelhead's just as good. It's just maybe a touch more oily of a fish. Probably higher in omega 3s and all that. I about said omega moose, but that's a Revenge of the Nerds reference. Yeah, hey Richard, yeah, he did. I said, hey Dub, I'll send you a gold back. And he was like, nope, keep it. Okay, and I know I was going to get off this thing, man, but check this out. Yeah, steelhead's really good. Stack that gold. Let me flip a doodle this thing real quick. And this was a question I had for Dub C, right? Because a lot of these gentlemen that have been into the stacking game for a long time, right? I don't really have anything vintage up there right now that I know of other than that round, but I don't know, is this vintage? Simsco Refiner. I don't know if that's vintage. Refco. Sims Refco. I don't know if that's I really don't know if that's freaking vintage or not. Anyways, it might be. Not sure. Yes, they were based out of Chicago. Okay, so I asked this of Dub C last night. When he was first into stacking, the silver that he was buying was just silver, right? It was just silver. Turns out now it's vintage silver. Isn't that something? You know, the Engelhard bars and the prospector or the prospectors and stuff like that. I had some a second ago. So at some point, and these are the retro. I love these little Silvertown retros, these 5 ounces. I think if you know fish. I think he had a 10-ounce one of these, but
I'm gonna go get
this
ready
is
for
cool.
bed. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being on here with us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get ready for bed.
So at some point, this is going to be vintage.
Thanks, Craig. You're awesome, everybody. Good night. Stack that gold. Yes, AI does sleep. AI does need her beauty sleep.
Right? Eventually, this stuff is going to be vintage.
Good night. Good night.
So am I going to sell it for am I going to get to sell it for a premium? Oh, yeah, it's that way.
Right.
This little 5-ounce Scottsdale bar, that's a cool looking bar. Yeah. That was interesting to know that, that at some point this stuff's going to be vintage. Love this Red River Mint bar. I only have one of them. And like I said earlier, I haven't been able to buy shit. This is it. This was the big score for the week. $17 for a half for 64 Kennedy. I'm not balling like I was, but anyways, this shit's gonna be vintage someday, and maybe when it happens, people will want it. People will look at it and be like, "Oh man, that's vintage silver. I need that in my stack." Anyhow, everybody, y'all have a great night. God bless. Thanks for stopping in and listening to me ramble and mumble and all that other shit that I do. I'm just a dumb redneck. Richard, they still have them on Hero Bullion. Roger, my throat hurts. No, I'm not rich. Far from rich. I actually got a lot of this delivering pizzas from Pizza Hut. Yeah, I was just a little lowly Pizza Hut delivery driver, and we could stack silver and gold with it. Isn't that something? Oh, check out these Lakota rounds. I love these Lakota rounds too. These Buffalo Lakota rounds. And if by rich you mean with family and love and our Lord and Savior, yeah, we're all rich like that. You know what I mean? All right, take care, OC. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great week, everybody. A good Sunday.
Are we gonna do a live tomorrow?
We might do a live tomorrow. We need to do some regular content. But yeah. Anyhow, take care, everybody. Good night. No, oh, dude. Don't be weird, dude. Come on, Roger. Don't be a weirdo. We don't do that here. Don't be a weirdo. Okay? Don't be a weirdo. Good night, everybody.